Hello there. The Brexit talks were extended last Thursday and were due to end today, but now we hear they're prolonged again for another few days. Firstly, please subscribe and like this video to give my channel a boost, and I'm always uploading new content, so please do check back daily, and a big thanks to my Patreon and PayPal supporters. Boris Johnson said that the talks were all over unless Brussels really did change its negotiating aims from punishment to free trade. And one passing comment by the EU Brexit negotiator Michel Barnier that both sides should compromise was enough of an excuse for the UK to agree to restart the talks. And these extra talks are reportedly going to last until this coming Thursday, and then move from London to Brussels to continue them further. The UK Northern Ireland Secretary Brandon Lewis told Andrew Marr this morning that this is a sign that a deal can be done. We have got to make sure it is a deal that works, not just for our partners in Europe, but one that works for the United Kingdom. Well, there's a statement of the bleeding obvious. The UK is now well versed in participating in a one-way, one-sided trade deal with the EU, so we do not want another one. But many of us do have our suspicions that this is all just political theatre being used as a cover to cobble together a disappointing deal. Disappointing for the UK, that is. But I've been told that this is not the case. I've been informed that the whole point is to be seen to be negotiating in good faith. If the UK were to pull the plug fully too early, then it could be used in future legal action as proof that we weren't really after a deal at all, just an excuse to walk away. But with less than 10 weeks, only 67 days to go until the end of the Brexit implementation period, you do have to wonder how possible anything other than a bare-bones deal really is. And remember, politicians always like a long period off over Christmas and the New Year. They have all that taxpayers' cash to spend in the sales. Another excuse being bandied about for this extension is that Boris is waiting for the outcome of the US presidential elections prior to making a deal, no deal decision. And this is something I alluded to in a video a couple of weeks ago, with the thinking being that the status quo in the White House would be more likely to lead to a no-deal Brexit. But how can the EU be coming to the table with a required profound change in negotiating attitude if we hear today that Emmanuel Macron is doubling down on his fishing demands? The Telegraph is reporting today that the French president is vowing to veto any deal that does not give the French fishing community unfettered access to UK waters. When the UK stupidly signed up to this EU federalist project, our trawlers were forced out of UK waters, up the beaches and into the scrapyards, putting many people in our coastal communities on the job scrap heap, while others in the EU prospered at their expense. And the result was that UK waters got overfished and stripped clean by a mismanaged EU common fisheries policy. We now have the chance to remedy that series of wrongs, but those that profited from this are now, of course, kicking off. And we also have former Tory and UKIP MP Douglas Carswell saying that the Prime Minister should compromise on fishing to get a deal. He says that we should phase changes to fisheries quotas in over 3 or 4 years, something that's been talked about before. But I'm not sure Macron would go for that. He's up for re-election in 18 months' time, and that would put it smack in the middle of a 3 or 4 year ratcheted French climb down. Macron is already viewed by many in France as too supportive of the metropolitan elites, so caving into the UK on fisheries even with a taper period, would not go down well, and he knows it. Anyway, one of the primary reasons given by Boris for deciding it was all over on the 15th of October was that business needs certainty for its post-Brexit implementation processes. But business is not getting that. All business is being told is that things will change, so prepare for something. But what is that something? We have no idea while these talks just go on. And it's not just businesses. There's also customs and excise, the border force, and hosts of other public servants who need to know the score. And the longer that Boris holds off pulling the no-deal trigger, the more likely we are to see Brussels start to pull back from its newly found position of compromise. All in their hope that we've left it too late and will accept what's left of any rotten deal they offer us. Is our government really going to keep delaying right up to the last moment in the hope that Brussels will sign some sort of proper free trade agreement with us? Brussels is more likely to become more relaxed as the deadline approaches, just watching like a hawk what they see as a weak UK Prime Minister, judging for the right moment to swoop. At what point does doing the right thing by sticking with the talks become an exercise in self-harm? And finally, you may be interested to know that the Express is reporting that the BBC is under extreme pressure from people trying to cancel their licence fees. The corporation admitted to the Express.co.uk that its phone lines were experiencing an overwhelming amount of calls. This has resulted in a backlog of people being delayed as they opt out of paying the £157.50 annual fee, it says. And it says that the BBC seems to be giving people the runaround when trying to cancel their licence, quoting the campaign director of Defund the BBC, Rebecca Ryan, as saying, "The BBC appears to be deliberately preventing people from cancelling their TV licences by bouncing them back and forth between their website and call centre, neither of which are currently functional. This is deeply worrying. People should not be trapped into paying a licence for a service they do not use, particularly when it is under the guise of a public service and categorised as tax. Imagine if this happened with vehicle tax. There would rightly be uproar." But of course the BBC is doing this. How else can they ensure that their left-wing bias holds sway in the nation? And how else can they ensure that high-profile stars are not queuing up at the food banks with many of their viewers? They think that the political re-education show must go on. Anyway, if you want to hear more from me, please don't forget to subscribe and also press that little bell, or you won't get any notifications. And if you want to see more of me, buy a mug with my mug on it by following the link in the descriptions box below and support me on Patreon or PayPal. So what do you think about all of this? Please share and comment, and thank you for watching.